Hello, and in this video we'll be making a simple minimalistic bifold wallet. It has a cash pocket, fit about 10 bills in there very nicely. Fit 3 cards on either side. Cards come out this way. But you can stack together 3 cards. You can just put 1 card in here. It's just a nice minimalistic wallet. Small wallet to fit in the front pocket. And of course you can carry a back pocket, throw it in a purse or handbag, shoulder bag. Just a nice little wallet, carry some cash, some cards. Like I said, I got stuff pretty full here, but anyhow, so this is what you will be, the file you will be given is to print out this sheet of paper here. You got your wallet back and your inside panel, and you'll have to cut out 2 card pockets. You can cut this out of 2 3-ounce leather, 3/4, 5/6. I would not go any higher than 5/6 ounce leather because it will be extremely stiff and very thick. But if you do the whole project out of like 3/4 ounce or 5/6, you'll need to skive the inside panel on these 3 sides and skive the edges of your card pocket. And then when you glue your card pockets in, you will glue them in to where they line up with the sides of this notch right here, going this way and this way. And you will stitch your card pocket to your inside panel before you glue your inside panel to your wallet back. And you'll see how it all goes together here in the video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for buying the pattern if you've already bought the pattern. If you're curious about buying the pattern, it's on my website, jb1985.com. When I was filming this, I was not using the digital pattern to go off of. I was using my original layout. Right here you can see I'm marking for the notch for the inside panel. And here is the curves for the card holders. Card holding pockets. 1/2-inch punch works real well for that inside tight corner. Do a little bit of sand and smooth out your cut line transition from the punch to where you cut with your knife. And here I'm using a little bit of Phoebe saddle soap to burnish the flesh side and a glass slicker. I also will burnish the green side as well on these veg tan wallets that I make that I don't put any finish on. It just deepens and darkens and enriches the texture of the wallet. And burnishing the flesh side just tightens up that grain on the flesh. Here I'm marking out so I can skive down the edges to make the edges of the wallet a little thinner, because I use 4 5-ounce for the entire wallet build. So skive the edges of your card pockets. I like to put my maker's mark on one of my card pockets. And then I'm going to skive down this edge right here. And I'm edge beveling the insides of the card pockets. I'm not going to edge bevel the outside of the card pockets. That way it kind of makes it open and easier to slide your cards in with just a bevel on the inside. And you need to burnish these edges before you go to assemble it. So here I'm going to mark where I want to rough up the leather so my glue will adhere well. Apply your glue to your card pockets and to your inside panel where your card pockets are going to glue down at. Going ahead and putting a first coat on the wallet back. I like to have 2 coats on that panel. So glue it in place, tap it down, cut off any excess that might be hanging over on the top of the inside panel. Make your stitch line. Here I'm using stitching chisels. I typically like to use a overstitch wheel and an awl and 2 needles and a stitching pony, but for this video I just use my stitching chisels. Go ahead and do a saddle stitch across there. I'm opening up the holes just a little bit with the awl because the needle was kind of catching, giving me an issue to stitching back and forth. And a good measurement for your thread is do about 5 to 6 times the length of the stitch that you're going to make. Cut your thread, and that allows you to have enough to be able to work with your needles and not end up being too short by the time you get to the end, but also not wasting a huge amount of thread. Go ahead and bevel, sand real good, and then burnish this edge because you really won't be able to get to it once you attach the inside panel to the wallet back. So I burnished with a little water and saddle soap, and then I went back over it with a little bit of beeswax and just put some friction with a denim cloth to melt that beeswax into the edge of the leather. Glue up one side of your pocket and then fold your wallet and glue up the other side of the inside panel. And you wind up that little pouch or whatever you want to call it where the cutout's at on the inside panel, which allows for the wallet to be able to fold a whole lot easier. That's why the inside panel is a 1/2 inch shorter than the wallet back. Here I'm marking where my stitches is going to end so I don't overshoot with my stitch line with a pencil, and then I erase it at the end. Go ahead and hammer in all your stitching. And one thing I was doing there is putting a little bit of beeswax on my stitching chisel. It allows you to be able to pull your stitching chisel out of your leather a whole lot easier. Again, like I said, a good length of thread is 6 times the length of the stitch that you're going to make. If you're making a real long stitch line, 5 times works very well, but on these shorter stitch lines, I typically always measure about 6 times the length of the stitch I need to make. Once you get your stitch made, you can go ahead and bevel your edges. Sand it all down with your final sand. I don't know why I sanded one side before I finished stitching the other.
So after you finish all your edge beveling and sanding, I go back with the Phoebe saddle soap on a damp rag to burnish my edges real good. I apply the saddle soap with a damp rag and then go back with some old denim cloth to get a real nice burnish on my edges. Here I'm applying a little bit of leather cream. It's a olive oil and beeswax mixture. Just wiping off the excess. Any leather cream will work. You can use Skidmore's or any good high quality leather cream.
Alright, I just took this boning tool, which this is not bone, this is plastic, but a little molding, folding, boning tool, whatever you want to call it. And I'm just going through and breaking loose anything that got a little bit of excess glue on it. Just breaking loose those seams. Plus it softens up the leather right at the stitches. Allow everything to move freely. Alright, but there you go. The minimalistic bifold finished up. Hope you enjoy.